January 23rd edition of the Police Station Building Committee. We have a quorum, and this meeting is called to order. First on the agenda, we have the minutes from December 19th. Any discussion? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from December 19th, 2022. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted unanimously. Next, as tradition holds, we have bills to pay, and we have several this month, so let me just read them all off. We'll take them all together. Number one, we have Fontaine Brothers, $797,140. Ockers Company, $7,600. Again, Ockers Company, $26,347. Construction Monitoring Services for $60,000. Again, Construction Monitoring Services, $2,443.72. Tecton Architects, $41,040. Collier's invoice, $1,491.25. Eagle Leasing, 2 times for $187.41. Wally Computer Associates, $4,138.75. Wally Computer Associates again, $3,259.50. Third time for Wally Computer Associates, $56,927.41. And Hilliard, $1,493.57, for a grand total of $1,002,256.02. Any questions or comments? There being none, do we have a motion to pay these bills?
Move we pay these bills.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to pay all of the invoices as I just read them. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted unanimously. Thank you, everybody. And we're on to our reports. We have our owner's project manager, Neil Joyce. How are you, Neil?
Very well, thank you.
Good.
You should have received a budget update from me, which included the bills as they were just read off. Our total expenditures to date are $24,347,746, which is 82% of our overall project budget. Happy to take any questions from the group.
How's that looking, Neil? We right where we want to be, or
Yes,
we better than where we want to be?
right on the money.
Okay.
Still have our contingency line well in hand, so.
All right.
I'm sorry, I read the wrong total, for the record. $28,548 and $983, 77.2% complete on budget. I read you the construction line by accident, my apologies.
Okay, so we're at 70, yes, okay, I see the line down here. 28,548,983, 77.2% spent to date.
That is correct,
And if you add in the exterior communications,
yes.
but that's not included in the total.
It is separate, yes.
That is separate. And for that, we're at 86.5%.
Yes.
And are we done with that?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
It's still in process.
Okay, all right. Because I thought the original bid came in at somewhere around 4.9 million.
It was.
Okay, all right,
The anticipated expense will be just under the $5 million allowance.
okay.
That's correct.
All
In terms of overall progress, things are going very well. Furniture installation is well underway. We have various equipment and new equipment deliveries scheduled over the next 2 to 3 weeks. The state has been in and has completed the 911 setup, so we're ready to move 911 when the timing is right. As of right now, we are targeting the second full week in February for occupancy. That is where we are as of today. So we'll finalize that date. Really, the 3 parties, the department themselves, the state, and also the communications contracts. We'll coordinate with the 3 of them, make sure we're set to go, and then we'll line up the state to cut over the 911 service. We'll bring everything else in on either side of that date.
So we'll be dispatching then, or,
We should be dispatching from the new station before we meet again.
that's impressive.
That's the plan.
And what other, well, not everybody will be moved in there, that.
Oh, no, everybody should be.
Everybody will be in
settled. Yep,
February.
that's the
Wow,
plan.
awesome.
Just interrupt for a second.
Please.
So the second full week in February.
Yep.
The police are gonna be operating out of that building?
That's the plan right now, yes.
It's not the first week in March?
No.
Okay. So,
First week in March was the goal.
what?
The first week in March was the goal to be in before then.
Okay. So the third week in February, nobody's gonna be in the old station?
No, that's the plan.
It's gonna be empty? Okay. Just wanna make sure.
Yeah.
Every time I ask somebody, I get a different answer.
Now you know.
Well, for this week. Okay, good.
Neil, does that move up the demolition of the old station?
I don't think so. I think it's still planned for March.
Yeah, it's still
Speak to
early
that.
March. We just have to get all of our temporary enclosures, new fence, phase 2 work, just
Okay.
everything blocked off, moved over, so
Alright.
that it's a safe space to complete that work.
Coming fast. Excellent. Questions? Hi, Kevin.
Sorry, Mike.
That's quite all right. No? All right, very good. Thanks, Neil.
Thank you.
All right, next we have our report from the architect, Matt Salad from Tecton Architects. Hi, Matt.
Good evening, everybody. Beautiful snow day we got out there. Fortunately, we took some photos last week, so it's not covered up by the snow. But just walk you through the construction progress to date as it was last Thursday. This is the front entry of the building, pretty much getting ready to occupy here shortly. Bollards are in. Plantings, lighting, everything is pretty much all set. The only last thing on the exterior elevations is just those final connections for the downspouts and some signage, room numbering, and the police sign, which is the last thing to go. This is just a view a little closer towards Maple Ave, where the 9/11 memorial will be installed, and again, just showing the progress here that we're pretty much complete. I think I had noted last month too that the coverings over the vestibule, those are just protective liners over the metal paneling that's there. So once we're ready to move in and contractors aren't coming in and out of that doorway, that'll come down. And then a view from the other side, looking down into the plaza here. Flagpoles ready to go up. Those up yet?
No, they were just waiting on the movers. We're using that front parking lot, so those will be going up this week once the snow stops.
Great. And then moving around to the back, one of the last pieces to complete that'll be ongoing while the move is happening is just finishing up the decorative fencing that's around the officer's entry here. And then it's just waiting for spring to get grass to establish and get the last final plantings in. So everything's looking great outside. Moving on to the interior, the lobby is nearing completion. Just a little bit of millwork to complete around the main transaction window as well as the one over to the clerk's office. But other than that, everything is pretty much finished up in here and ready to have its final clean and furniture received. Moving into the training room, we're pretty much complete in here. They just need to finish the back side of the flip-down monitors that are recessed up into the ceiling. And once that's complete, then they can make the final installation of the training tables that are here. Those will be completed shortly after. The ones that are on the risers are permanently fixed, so they want to make sure that all the above ceiling work is completed and out of the way before they go and attach those to the flooring. Dispatch, also furniture has been brought in. All the dispatch consoles, the 24-hour chairs are there. They just have them protected in plastic right now because there's a lot of sensitive electronics in there, and they'll keep that up until there's no more dusty work going on in the building and everything's cleaned and ready to occupy as well. Moving down into the corridor, this is the central corridor on the ground floor. They were just finishing up the bench and the millwork in there when you guys took a tour last month. That's all now been completed.
All the masonite, that's all masonite on the floor that we put down for protection, moving furniture in and out, just to make sure that the new resilient floor didn't get damaged in that process. So from then to now, that floor has all been, protection's all been removed.
Yep. The detention area is pretty much all set as well. They were just making the final adjustments to the electronic releases on the cell doors. Once those are complete, they'll close those housings up, get everything finished painted. The pieces that you see that are red will be painted out. And that's the last piece for the cell areas. So we're gearing up to get our the Department of Public Health inspections lined up here in a couple of weeks, and that should get those cells ready to occupy as well. Moving along to roll call towards the back of the building. This is also pretty much complete. We just have some last-minute coordination pieces with a body camera charging station that's going on the millwork in the left corner of the screen here. So that'll be the last piece to finish in here as we fine-tune those details with the body camera charging stations. So that'll be completed here shortly as well. Moving into the patrol sergeant's work area here. Furniture is in. Space is pretty much complete and ready to occupy here as well. And then the report writing area here, that was just having its final clean done. Chairs in and furniture's in and installed, so that's all set as well. Moving upstairs into the break room. Thursday, they were just finishing the installation of the appliances into the kitchen area. I think I checked up there just before this meeting. I think they just have a couple of minor things just to wrap up, but they're pretty much all set up there as well. So just the finishing touches going on in the break room area. And then also the Detectives Bureau, same thing. This has been pretty much completed. Furniture's in and ready to go. Just some minor touch-ups and the like, but that space is also completed. So that's pretty much it on the update. I did have a last slide on the building dedication plaque. We have the final shop drawings in. I just wanted to give the committee one last. It's not a action item on the minutes on the agenda today, but I did want to give us one last look at it before it was released for fabrication. So there it is. Certainly, any questions with that? Has the building committee, select board names as well as the town manager, and the appreciation to the Shrewsbury residents and their support for the Shrewsbury Police Station project. So if there's any comments on that, happy to receive them and make any tweaks. Otherwise, we'll get that released to fabrication. It should not have changed since the last time you've seen it.
No, I'm fine with it.
Looks good to me.
Yeah,
All right.
excellent.
That is all I have this week.
All right, thanks, Matt. Any questions?
I just have one,
Sure.
just one.
Yep.
Where is the fallen police officer memorial? Okay,
That'll be in the planter opposite the 9/11 Memorial, the one that's down
in the
towards
same
plaza.
side, on
No.
that same side, or on the opposite side?
The opposite side. So this is facing the building.
Yeah.
Left planter. There's a little carve out. That's where the 9/11 Memorial goes.
Right.
Towards Maple Ave, and then all the way to the far end of the screen is this area, and there's another planter just to the right of this, and that's where that memorial would go.
Okay, I just couldn't see it, so,
Yep.
thanks. Looks really nice.
Pat?
Sure, Keith.
So a little update on that. The chief and I just touched base with the lead teacher at Assabet last week, who's going to put that together. So hopefully we'll see that by dedication. That's kind of our goal right now, to have that
Nice,
built and put in by the students. So
again,
keep you updated.
that's great.
Excellent. Thanks, Donna. Anything else?
I like the patio. I like the way it looks.
Yeah, everything came out really, really nice. I was surprised to see plants in the planters when I drove by last week. I was thinking, they're gonna die, but they'll be okay.
We have a warranty. Just
All right. Okay, good. You like that?
you never get them all in the first pass. So.
Yeah. All right. Very good. All right, next we have Ryan from Ryan Ryan DePasquale, thank you. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm
Sorry.
doing well. So just summarizing what Matt added to what you can't see just in the pictures themselves. We have all our trades working on site with the punch list. The majority of the second floor punch list has been completed. There's a couple paint spots that still need to get touched up in some corridors. We're working our way through the ground floor. All the A area has been punched out by Matt, where we have some odd spots in the ground floor, the B area, the cells, the garages, a couple odd spots, but we're pretty comfortable with where we are. We've been having a good response from our subcontractors coming on site and identifying that work and remediating any of those issues. So all that's going well. We have additional fire alarm testing and life safety testing scheduled for tomorrow morning at noontime. So that should be one of the last major hurdles to get through on the life safety side to get our TCO to get into this building. We have air testing and balance with the HVAC subcontractors just about complete. There's one last section in the garage that needs to get finished up this week, and we'll have a testing and balancing report showing that the system's working as it should. Colliers, the commissioning agent, was on site earlier this week. We're working on getting him the VPN access into the building management system to verify everything's working as it should. So that process is all coming together nicely. On the other side, we're just doing final testing, adjusting, making sure all the security systems work correctly. All the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Lighting controls. We've been starting on the training. So we had the HVAC system training, the plumbing training last week, and we have more training scheduled for the next 2 following weeks to get a majority of that out of the way. And it's really just closing all that up to get the building ready to occupy next month. On the outside, some things that you just see that aren't done yet that will be done in the next couple of weeks is the front door. Obviously, the permanent front door isn't in yet. That's going to be in early next week, which is great to have that in. That's kind of the one incomplete part that kind of you see looking at the front of the building. And then to the back side, the fence. I believe last time we were here, I had mentioned we were hoping to get the fence started in early January. We were hoping to get more nice freeze in the ground so that way we weren't tearing up too much of the soil. But luckily for some projects, not this project particularly this year, we've had a mild winter. So they will be on site next week and going ahead with the fencing. So we're going to work our way around that. And I would imagine that that'll be pretty close to completion for the opening date, and we'll just be tying up the loose ends on that part. Change order work, the second exit and gravel lot. We're in a similar boat with getting the tree clearing going on that, so we've been on hold with that, as well as materials and production. Some of the structures that go underneath the road for the detention ponds had longer lead items, so those are just getting finished up with the precaster up in Leominster, and should be coming to site here shortly. And then on the other side, we are working with Keith and making sure all our plans are together for phase 2, limited fencing, sequencing, temporary fences, to make sure everybody coming in and out of the town hall campus is aware of what's going on, where the entrances are, where the exits are, make sure that we have a safe working space, and understanding that we're getting even closer to the town hall now, and just trying to be good partners with everybody through that process. One item that isn't on the minutes in particular, but is a change order item that I'm working through right now with Tecton and CMS is this attachment with photos of the front, because you can call it front grove. So there's some additional trees that need to come down along that front area. These were discovered after all the site work was done. Portions of the rock walls were removed, and we saw that there was some hazardous trees, as well as some trees that were prohibiting the sight lines of the exits or the exit of the new front parking lot, as well as the site digital signs. So we're working through all of that, pricing wise, confirming that's all fair with Tecton and CMS, and that work will likely be completed before. Or will be completed before the town hall, or before the new police station opens, just because they're going to set up a crane from the driveway of the new police station to make sure they have safe picks to get all those trees down, keeping two-way traffic going, trying to limit the impact to Maple Ave, knowing it's a busy street. So that's why I sent that attachment. I just wanted everybody in the committee to be aware of when they see that, why we're doing that. Yeah, that's that portion of what I have thus far.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. Any questions for Ryan? Nope, very thorough. Thank you. All right, that brings us to item number 5, review and act on the specifications of the digital message board sign. I think we all received Keith's memo on that. And do we have any questions or comments on what we would like to do? Donna?
I never noticed so many electric message boards until we had our conversation. And I'm still convinced that it would be wise for us to go with at least an 8 mm. Of course, 6 would be ideal, but I think 8 is reasonable. Looking at the signs around Worcester County, and I just think that to go with the higher numbers, we will regret it at some point, and we might as well do it right the first time.
Okay, thanks, Donna. Any other thoughts?
I'm fine with the 8 mm or the 10 mm screen. I think they're,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Ones
fine
that
with
I've looked
either
at
as well.
look really
I
good.
just so I understand I'm holding up this, just so I understand, it shows here on the pictures, so I understand what I'm looking at. It says 80 foot, for example, on the 10 mm one, 80 foot ideal. Does that mean the image is best from 80 feet away or further? And it gets a little distorted as you get closer?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So
that's
if I,
like, this company will make like digital signs on like a highway for a highway billboard, so that you're 500-600 feet away, so they're lower resolution. So
Okay.
it's kind of one of those.
yeah,
Any resolution from this, I mean, I think any resolution from this distance driving by, you would still have decent resolution. But you're obviously within the amount of people that are on town hall for like the food trucks during the summer or anything like that, any events you have that are standing on the Sacred Acre around the sidewalks, you would be getting closer. I think that was one of the big reasons we wanted to look at this higher resolution option.
okay, and the size of the sign, I can't remember the size of
The
it.
size of the sign is 2.5 by 5, yeah.
2.5 by 5?
Yep. And I think one other thing, just for if we're gonna make a recommendation, or if you're gonna act on this, is additionally extended warranty options. I know that was something that
Right.
Keith was interested in.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. I mean, as long as we broach the subject, I'm totally in favor of spending the money on the extended warranty. I think it makes sense. And it goes in concert with pretty much the life of the sign, so it'd be warranted for the expected life of the sign.
correct.
Anybody disagree with that? No? Okay,
I
so
agree.
I think that's a done deal then. Mo, yeah? You good with that, Mo?
Yeah.
Okay. So then the question is, I think, right now, do we want to go with the 8 mm or 10 mm? Donna?
Just one more thing. I did notice as I looked at the signs, the smaller the sign, the more difficult it was to read. As you pass, like half the time I couldn't even see what they were trying to advertise because it was just, it looks nice, but you really have to stop and look at it to be able to read it as opposed to driving by and viewing it. So the smaller, the more difficult it is to read.
How big is that sign gonna be?
2.5 by 5,
By 5.
which,
I'd say that's medium. Would you?
looking at the other examples, I would say
Oh.
that's on the smaller side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not looking for a billboard, I don't think, either.
But I think if we're, if you look at even the examples that were given, that were provided, as time goes on, people are going to the 6 and 8 mm. I think it's just the way people are making wise decisions.
Yeah, like I said, I'm fine with the 8 or 10. I mean, if you, for example, Town of Holden has 2 signs apparently, 2 by 6, similar size, and they have one 4 by 6. Those are both 10 mm. Those are the two examples of a community that I see in the samples that we have here. The other ones have a different interest involved. They have they're businesses, so they're trying to maybe attract more attention. You know,
And
for like Fetchner, obviously a plastic surgeon's gonna go with the biggest
Yeah, I
and
was
the
gonna
baddest, because he wants his people to look good.
We have such a grand building, I think we should be better than Holden.
I just use that as an example
I
as
know,
to
I'm just-
whether
I don't
the
wanna-
municipality was doing.
Give an inch.
As I said, I'm good with either the 8 or the 10.
I think something with the size of it too to keep in mind is when we looked at the demo that Watchfire brought out was the higher resolution, they were going to like more detailed videos of like fish swimming under the sea and things along that nature too. So if you keep in mind the size you have relative to the messages you want to present too, it's like what detail do you have to share on that message board as well. I think that's something to keep in mind too.
So, Ryan, that's a good point. Maybe the chief or town manager could add in, what kind of messaging are going to be going on these signs?
Well, on our end, it would be like we had National Night Out, something
Right.
like that.
Right.
I don't know what the town would put on that.
Link it to the website and try to make it as integrated as possible with news alerts and things like that.
Videos and things like
Not
that?
necessarily videos.
Okay.
But text-based
Announcement.
messages and announcements.
Right. So messaging, pretty much.
So the other thing I was thinking of is, you guys are much younger than me, and my vision is a lot worse than yours. And the clearer and the sharper the lettering, the easier it is to read. If you asked me that 10 years ago, I could see a lot better. So that has an impact on older people driving by.
How far
I
up the
happen to
road
in
is
that
the sign
category
gonna be?
now.
It'll be
That's the end of it.
relatively equal to the existing town hall signs, so like from the back of the sidewalk, I think it's approximately like 10 feet.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is too, is you have to remember whatever, I'm not up to date on my civil engineering and your sight lines, but as you're driving, if you're going 30 miles an hour down the road, you're really viewing it from
Right.
the middle of the sacred acre, not from right in front of it.
I could live with either one of them, but I think where it is that close to the road, I think we should go with the 8 mm. The one at Central One is a 16, and I don't find it hard to read. So I don't think it's that big a deal, but where it is that close, it is closer to the road than Central One. And I think we could sit here and debate this thing all night.
Right.
I think the 8 mm is fine.
Well, let me pose it this way. Is there anybody who would be dead set against going with the 8 mm? I don't hear any objections. So is the follow-up to that, is everybody okay with the 8 mm?
Sure.
Yes. 8 mm, extended warranty, 10 years.
You need a motion?
I don't know, we will get to that, but that's where we're at right now, I think. That's the consensus?
Yeah.
Okay. So, now we can take a motion.
I move we approve the 8 mm sign with the extended warranty.
We have a motion? Second. A second. So we have a motion and a second to approve the police station sign being 8 mm resolution with the 10-year extended warranty for a total of approximately $25,000?
What?
Total addition? Yeah, 22,000.
22.
Oh, no, additional, I'm
No,
sorry.
it'll be-
I'm sorry,
Wait.
additional 10,000 about.
No, it's an additional 7,600.
No, plus the,
Plus the
Plus
warranty.
the warranty.
plus the warranty, so it would be $9,656.
I wouldn't just approve it like to head nuts for that, because I don't know if that has the OH&P in
Okay,
there.
all right.
So I think.
So whatever.
I just don't want to, yeah.
Right.
So we're
Proceed with
approving
the-
it without the money.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yes, we are
Approve the
approving
approach.
that.
And then we'll have that in the next change order.
Okay, all right, we'll have a final number on that
Yeah.
next, okay. Did I mess that up too bad
Nope.
to go forward with that? Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted unanimously. Thank you, everybody. And next, review and discuss the installation and placement of the picnic tables in the Grove area. Mo, you had brought this to me originally. Do you have any thoughts on this?
No. I just, well, nothing, I'm not gonna go into the detail I went in the last time. I think 3 or 4 tables at the most, closer to the front, without making a big project of it, would be fine.
So we have the, I'm trying to get a sense as to where it's gonna go, where you want them to go. We have the picture, do we have the pictures on screen
I don't think the
of
pictures,
the Grove area? Do we have one, Matt?
Looking for a site plan?
Yeah, either that or, like, I know we have,
actually, if you look at the one with the trees.
the trees, yeah, I
that
was wondering
has
if we had
the
that one.
existing sign. So it would be to the left of the existing town hall sign. I think set back off the sidewalk a little bit
Can
in that area.
I suggest that it's not too close to any monument? I don't know where the monument is.
No, that monument, that's not gonna be there.
Okay, I just wanted to make
The
sure.
monument's staying.
The monument's staying, but the white sign's not.
No, but what
No.
I'm saying is I wouldn't
Right.
plant the picnic table too close to the monument.
No, but I don't think we need to go way into the site, because
Oh,
then.
definitely
You're
not.
getting, it is gonna need a lot of fill and stuff
Yep.
like that. I think, how far off the sidewalk does it need to be? Just away from the sidewalk,
Right,
so that people can have a little bit,
a little bit of
Right.
elbow room.
yeah, and not be right on the sidewalk and be distracted. But not so far in that we have to do a lot of major landscaping on it.
Right.
And then maybe come off of the walk that's gonna go in there, because it's gotta be handicap accessible, that's all. It doesn't have to
Just
be-
back enough respectfully away from the monument so that.
Right, and just pop a few of them around, with the permanent kind, like down at Lake Street.
Yeah. Pat, and I think, and Matt, can you check too, like if we put 4, and I think only 1 or 2 need to be fully accessible with a separate path.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you could have 2, like
Yeah,
in
that's
the
true.
Grove area, and then one or 2 that have, are near the paths and they have a
Yeah.
accessible path to them.
just keep it simple.
Do we have any pictures of those picnic tables on Lake Street? I'm not familiar with them.
I have my phone, which I forgot at home. Yeah, they just got the pedestal in the middle, and they got the chairs.
they're just
on
kinda
both
anchored in,
sides.
everything's, and the,
Do
and
we have,
they're
do we
kinda
have
like bench
options we
seating.
could look at?
Oh, yeah, I mean, but, I'm sure we could find some other things. I'm just thinking a permanent one, doesn't have to be those.
Whatever we want in, whatever we put though, I would think we'd want permanent, because you don't want them, anything not permanent has the potential to go missing.
No, because at the parks and stuff, a lot of the
Police
other
station.
parks, yeah, it is the police station.
Well, I
Well,
understand.
like, most of the picnic tables at Dean Park are not permanent. You know,
Okay.
They're they remove.
No, but I think where they're gonna be right,
Inside.
they're gonna be right on the road.
Yeah.
I think the permanent ones look better.
I have a question.
Sure, Donna.
I just was curious if the chief, are you concerned with the aesthetics or something
Yes.
else about it?
That's what I'm concerned about. We're putting a really nice building
You
there.
want it
I wanna
tastefully
see
done.
what-
Well,
You don't want junk.
these are aesthetically a lot more pleasing than the picnic tables down at Dean
Right.
Park.
Okay.
But can you,
You want the same ones that are at the Beal School? That one on?
I don't know, it's at the Beal School.
Oh, I thought you said Lake Street, that's why.
No, it.
Lake Park.
At,
Park.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
Lake Park, sorry.
yeah.
But Beal has some nice ones over there too. They have some
Yeah.
decent
Can you, for the next meeting, could you find some of those type of things? Or I can get the pictures again and send them.
Yeah, I could send you what we installed at the Beal School.
Yeah.
If you wanna look at
They're
that.
permanent, they're
They're
in the ground.
bolted to the, to the pavers.
Yeah, and they should be a couple, like Keith said, should be a couple of handicap accessible ones.
Could we have 3 options and price points on those?
Yeah, definitely. We can review it in the next couple of weeks and find a couple of potentials and go from there.
I have one more question.
Sure, Donna.
Mo, when you were talking about the quantity, what was your number, 3 or 4?
3 or 4,
I
that's
think
all.
3's better.
Well, whatever, but we don't need more than 3 or
No,
4.
no, I agree.
We're talking about right here? I just brought the site plan.
Yeah, somewhere in there, but the further back you go, Matt, you're getting into
Yeah.
a bowl.
So we do have, and it's sort of a location to be determined, this dashed pathway here
Yeah,
is an asphalt 5-foot wide pathway
Yep.
to gain access to an accessible picnic table when the time comes.
yeah. I was wondering is that something that you have in the plan, or was that,
The path?
yeah,
The path is in the plan, yeah. We can change its location and orientation and whatnot. So we have something now in the project for that.
whatever. I just think, keep it simple.
Yeah, I would think we'd be able to work within whatever the plan is.
Right. Come off the side.
It seems to me. And outside of accessibility, are there any other zoning or planning board issues around putting these tables there or anything like that? No. Okay, I just want to make sure that we have all our bases covered before we go forward with that.
Need a special permit and.
Just wanted to make sure. Or, offset from the road and things like that.
Oh, no.
I just want to be sure
Say
the
this is what.
police department wants people
Let's
at
say,
picnic tables in that vicinity.
just. so you-
Yeah, I mean, I would like to look at the design. It looks a little different on there. Are you saying having the walkway, you're gonna change the walkway, or it's gonna be designed just like that? I may be misunderstanding where these picnic tables are going, based off of that.
This walkway here, this is just to get a picnic table in this area that would be handicapped accessible. So the picnic tables can be scattered about wherever you want them.
Excuse, Pat, Chief, if that lower right circular area, that is the Veterans Memorial right
Okay.
now. So if that helps you with your reference.
Yeah.
on
Yeah, that
where
helps.
we're at.
So it'd be behind that, and that thing, it's to the right of the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's the police station building.
Where's the building?
Over there to the
Left
left.
side of the frame, chief.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be the new front driveway. So
Just waiting
between-
for an email to come in from Ryan that'll have an image of the picnic tables we're talking about.
Got it.
There it is. Which slide?
Next one.
Oh,
So those are what we installed at the Beal School.
What's
Are
the
those,
top?
are those benches permanently attached?
Yep.
Yep.
What's the top, wood?
No, it's plastic lumber, right?
Yeah, it's some sort of plastic lumber.
Stuff will last
Like
forever.
tracks.
Yeah, like Trex, something like that.
Are they gonna be benches to the right of the building on that, in that break
In the patio?
patio area?
In here, we can get picnic tables for that as well, or tables.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was the original plan.
Right.
Yeah,
Ryan, could you pull up the other image, please?
What is that?
Or Matt?
tables in the past.
So my only question is on the one that we need to have accessible, is there room
In the
to,
building, yeah.
within those benches, to pull a wheelchair
There's
in?
different styles of them, so
Okay.
some of them have benches the whole way around and other ones have
Okay.
benches left out to make them.
So one, we would want to make sure that we had
Yep.
room for,
That's like the one we're looking at in the front of the screen here does not have a bench on the opposite side
okay,
for that purpose.
okay,
Where the other one in the back is benches kind of all the way around.
yeah, yeah. We just don't want to install them and then realize, oops. We made it accessible except for sitting at the table.
So would you put the same kind of table in the patio area, or would you put better ones in the patio area?
We could do either. There's something nice about consistency for the aesthetic across the campus as well as
Right.
long-term maintenance and
Those
placement.
are not inexpensive.
Oh, I know. As soon as you talk about that kind of top, I understand that. But I'm just saying, you have a very high-end building. So whatever you put there, it should it should complement the building,
Well, the
number
chief can-
one.
The chief can pick them out.
Yeah. I mean, we can certainly bring options to the committee next month.
Like
the
everything
most
else we've
expensive
done, bring
ones.
us some options, different price points, different options,
Sure.
and we'll narrow it down,
Sounds good.
right? You good with that?
Yeah, I
All right.
think they're gonna get a lot of use, actually.
Well, I can see, I can see not only the community using them, especially possibly, on food truck night. I can see it being used then, but also employees during lunch hours, spring, summer.
Yeah, Chris, when I first talked to Kristen about that, she said the employees are gonna use those for lunch.
Right, right.
I'm thinking on the flip side of that, at 10 o'clock at night when the kids are through playing soccer in front of Town Hall, which used to make Mr. Carney's hair stand on end, I don't want them to then move over to the picnic tables. I want to be sure it's appropriate for that area near the police station.
It's near the police.
You can handle that, right,
I don't
Jane?
think you're gonna
Handle
have, I don't think you have too much of that.
Well, it
It's
didn't
next
stop
to the
them, it
police
didn't
station.
stop them from playing in front of Town Hall in
No, I
front of
know.
the police station. That's why I'm saying it.
Well, we had a different chief then, though.
I don't think it's gonna be like Friendlies when we were growing up, Donna.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with friendlies growing up.
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do we have bike racks?
Yeah.
We do, okay.
So next to the 9/11 memorial planter, there's a bike rack, there's a paved area that goes in there. There'll be one right there.
Okay.
That's one.
Right here.
I don't know if there's more. Definitely one right there.
For when the kids come to play soccer.
Here's a question about David. We're not gonna put lights around those, right?
What?
We're not putting lights around those picnic tables, right?
In the Grove area?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, so. you're
No,
not
we'd
gonna
have to-
kids in-
Well,
We'd have to cut the trees up to get conduit in the.
No, I know, so, I mean, that's gonna discourage people from using them at night.
Not kids.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
They're gonna be on the street, they're not gonna be in the woods.
Anything else around the picnic tables?
No.
All right, so we will look forward to seeing examples of those at the next meeting. All right, item number 7. Review and act to approve the 2022 annual town report. We all received a copy of that. I think we've all had a chance to review it. Any questions or comments around that? Donna?
My only question around that is, does it give the public enough information? Is everyone satisfied with that?
I was perfectly satisfied with it.
And does it say it was on budget or under budget?
This is where we are towards budget.
Which is if we were under budget,
So we have no idea of knowing at what point we're at this point in the
Right.
project, whether we're at 100% of target, 120% of target at this point. So we could be at 120% of target right now, but by the time we're done, we're not gonna spend much more, and we'll wind up at 89% of target. So at this point, we're 87% spent, with 13% to go. I think that's probably the best way to depict that.
agree.
Where if you look at, I know, Kevin, you have some budgets that vary from month to month, and you might be way over one month and then come way under for the next 3 months. I think that happens with town trash bags when you make a purchase. You do a bulk purchase, and then that budget goes off skew, and then it comes back into line over time. So I think that's something where we really need to wait till the end. And we just track to spent to date.
Fair enough.
That makes sense?
Yep.
Okay. Any other comments?
I-
Mo?
I would tend to rate it a little longer. I think I'd be a little more descriptive.
So what else would you like to
Don't
say?
forget, in 50 years, when somebody goes back and read that,
Yeah. What else would you like to see?
well, I would just have more detail in it. If everybody's fine with it, fine, but
I agree with Mo. That's what I was alluding to. And I didn't talk to him about it ahead of time, in case you want to know.
No,
of
that's,
course, the other thing is, who reads it?
Who's coming back in 50
You know what?
years and reading it?
Yeah, someone will use that as a document someday, for
If
some
every-
random reason.
If everybody's fine with it, it's fine.
I just thought it needed a little more information for people. I mean, so much work was done. It's such a huge project. I just thought it needed a little something.
Alex, was that a whole lot different than the one we did the prior year
No.
that we approved?
It was similar, but, I mean, last year was kind of more just like, this is, I think we have last
we're in the project, so it was kind of, yeah. So I guess my question is, Kevin, do we do a final report? And is it presented to any of the other boards, town meeting or Board of Selectmen or anything like that?
I mean, you would technically need to do a building committee report next year again.
Right, and would that, I would assume that would be the closeout building committee report. Do those tend to have more detail in them at that point?
Not necessarily. I think it can only really be reflective of, technically it's reflective of what you did over the last 12 months, or that 12-month period.
Okay,
So not a full detail of the whole project,
okay.
really that year's picture.
Are you thinking things like more like the highlights of the commissioned, like artwork for the highlights of,
I guess we've put our heart and soul into it, so it means so much to us that, are we really translating that to the public? Are we translating the collaborative work with the police officers and staff and monuments within the building and in the nuance of it, so that people have that feel of so much went on over the past year? Are we really capturing that? I don't know. Maybe then you can make a book on tape and put it in the library. I don't know, but I just thought
docuseries?
it's been so exciting, I think, as a project, that I'm hoping that that comes across to the public.
I'm just looking at the way my board writes our annual report. It's a lot more descriptive. So I'm used to just a longer report. It doesn't need to be as long as that, but we just have a different focus. If everybody's fine with it like this, fine. I don't have a problem with it.
Joe, are you okay? Kevin, you okay with it like this?
I'm the newest member.
I won't ask you first,
I
I'm
was not
sorry.
on the committee in 2022, so it doesn't.
All right, well, okay, very good. Joe?
I mean, I was fine with it, but I think sometimes the longer you make it, the less people will read it sometimes too.
Right.
That's kind of the catch-22 with it.
But are we giving the public enough information about what's gone into it in the last year? There's been so many decisions in the last
I
year.
mean, I think I think the highlights and the nuances and all that thing, I think those are gonna come out with the dedication and with public tours and with things, I'm assuming we're gonna.
I was going to say,
be open for
is there going to be an
public
open
tours.
house or anything? Or
There is.
I think that's really where the residents get their.
But this is a history book.
No,
in the end.
I understand that, but
Donna, if it helps, in my annual report, last year and this year, I put in a little piece about the new station, so.
Whatever you want.
Well, if you're gonna write something, or you're gonna write something in yours, public buildings, then you'd probably cover it between the three of them. Forgot about that.
Plus, they watch us every month.
What?
Plus, they watch us on TV every month.
We have a living record of.
Really.
We could put in everybody's zodiac sign.
I mean, I was okay with it, with it said what it needed to say, and when I watch, when I see how many, like annual town books that are always available.
Whatever you want. I was trying not to be critical, that's why I didn't
No,
volunteer
I thought it
initially.
was, personally, I thought it was fine the way it was. So I'm trying to get a consensus here. Do we need to go more detail, or
I'm comfortable with the.
If you're comfortable with it, fine.
I'm fine with it.
you're fine?
I don't wanna push it too hard, because I'll have to end up
Justine, you're
writing it.
fine?
Yeah,
Okay, you're fine?
I'm good.
the
yeah.
magnificent.
I gotta
That'll
write
be
my
too many
boards, I don't
words
need to
for
write
sure.
another one.
That's 5. We have 2 opposed, 1 abstention.
What? I'm not opposed.
Or no, you're not opposed, but, pardon?
There's time. We don't need the final product until the end of February, early March, so I can add more details to it and send it up next week. I'm happy to do that.
if you have time in your schedule and you want to put your flair to it, if anybody has anything they want to contribute. So you have to send something in to contribute.
I'll be happy to
Okay.
work with her on it.
That's fine with me, and we'll take another look at it, so we can review it again at the February meeting? Okay. Tough crowd.
Just gotta keep you hopping.
Can we have the February meeting in the police station?
Ooh.
The first public meeting in the police station, is that what you're saying?
No, well,
In the community?
First and last? No, I'm kidding.
when we did the high school in Oak, we
Locking the
did
doors
all
on
our
the way
meetings
out.
in those buildings.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
And Mark would have to
If we
set
could
up
have
a
it in
remote
the-
camera, but
If we could have it over there, because I was going to mention the next meeting if we could do a tour. After, I'd like to see the whole place live.
Well, by the 27th, you're all moved in.
Yeah. And if it's easier to do a meeting over there and then do
I
a
just
tour.
think, I mean, it's gonna be pretty much done. but- Well, if we can do it, I think we should do it.
Might as well handle meeting
We're
schedule.
going to training.
So we'll just move to meeting schedule now. Thank you, Alex, by the way, for stepping up with that. We have the meeting scheduled February 27th, March 20th, April 24th. We'd like to, there's a request out there to have the meeting at the new police station, if at all possible. And if we could follow that meeting with a tour, that would be even better.
27th, yeah.
Wonder how many times we have to go through that building before we get lost. Stop getting lost, I should say.
I know. All right, so that's good for the meeting schedule. And then is there any other business out there? Anybody have anything? Or did we cover it all?
I'm just a little curious, Chief, are the officers and the staff excited to the move?
Very excited. We
Yeah.
go over several times a week.
Oh,
Yeah, they're ready.
Yeah, good.
a big change.
Big change.
Yeah.
It's looking great.
And that's another reason I'd like to, get a tour when everybody's in there and up and active, and I think it'll be exciting
Sure.
to see that. I don't know if we can have a camera follow us around or not, but
This
As
one-
part of the meeting.
I didn't know if I was gonna make the meeting today. I thought I was gonna have to do some babysitting, and so I asked Steve if I could walk through this morning, because I thought there might be a tour after this meeting. I gotta tell you, it's looking really good. That presentation
Yeah.
room, when I walked in this time, was like, wow.
Did you like the tiered seating?
The what? The tiered seating? Yes, I did. This time I liked it. I got to see it all set up. Actually, I like that seating better than the seating at the high school because it's not as extreme.
Sure.
It's nice. Everything really came out great. Now you see it with the furniture in it. It really is nice.
yeah.
Pat, can I just say one thing?
Sure.
She's not here, and hopefully she's not watching on TV tonight, but I think it's important to recognize Kristen's
Absolutely.
efforts in this whole project over the past year and a half
Thank you.
or 2
Yes,
years,
our-
however long it's been.
Thank you for mentioning that. yeah.
Certainly has helped me out a ton on the backside of this, so just appreciate all her time she put into this.
That would be Kristen Lass, our town manager designee to this committee. Served the community for, how long, Kevin? Over 10 years? 12 years?
Yep.
For those who may not know, Kristen has moved on to bigger and better things in the town of Westford.
Well, that's debatable, but yeah.
Bigger and better things for her. And you know what, Frank, I can say honestly, from the first time I met her, I'm surprised it took her this long to move along, because she's certainly one of the most talented people that have walked through these doors in many years. So, Kristen, you'll be missed, and I hope you come back to visit. And with that, I think we're done.
Move for adjourn?
All right, we have motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? So voted. Thank you.